Module 3, Lesson 3.2, Approaches to Curriculum Designing. I'm Jonas, Pili,
And I am Marjorie Peña,
your reporters. Desired learning outcomes. Number 1. Identify some familiar curriculum designs and approaches to the designs. Second, analyze the approaches in the light of how these are applied in the school setting.
So, you have been familiarized with the preliminaries of making a simple design through lesson plan components. You will further enrich your knowledge by looking into how other curricularists approach the curriculum design. In this lesson, we will see how several examples of curriculum designs are used in the schools and classrooms.
So we come now to the content focus. There are many ways of looking at curriculum and designing one for our own purposes. Let us focus on the most widely used examples. Number 1 is the subject-centered design. This is a curriculum design that focuses on the content of the curriculum. The subject-centered design corresponds mostly to the textbook because textbooks are usually written based the specific subject or course. Henry Morrison and William Harris are the few curricularists who firmly believe in this design. As practice, school hours are allocated to different school subjects such as science, mathematics, language, social studies, physical education, and others. This is also practiced in the Philippines because a school day is divided into class period, a school year into quarters or semester. Most of the school using this kind of structure and curriculum design aim for excellence in the specific subject discipline content. Subject-centered curriculum design has also some variation which are focused on the individual subject, specific discipline, and a combination of subjects or discipline which are a broad field or interdisciplinary.
Under subject-centered design, we have subject design. What subject are you teaching? What subject are you taking? These are two simple questions that the teacher and the learner can easily answer. It is because they are familiar with the subject design curriculum. Subject design curriculum is the oldest and so far the most familiar design for teachers, parents, and other laymen. According to the advocates, subject design has an advantage because it is easy to deliver. Textbooks are written and support instructional materials are commercially available. Teachers are familiar with the format because they were educated using also the design. In the Philippine educational system, the number of subjects in the elementary education is fewer than in the secondary level. In college, the number of subjects are also differs according to the degree programs being pursued. For each subject, a curriculum is being designed. However, the drawback of this design is that sometimes learning is so compartmentalized. It stresses so much the content and forgets about students' natural tendencies, interests, and experiences. The teacher becomes the dispenser of knowledge and the learners are simply the empty vessel to receive the information or content from the teacher. This is a traditional approach to teaching and learning.
It is also under the subject-centered design, which is the discipline design. This curriculum design model is related to the subject design. However, while subject design centered only on the cluster of content, discipline design focuses on academic disciplines. So, discipline refers to specific knowledge learned through a method which the scholar used to study a specific content or of their fields. Student in biology should learn how the biologists learn. And so with student and mathematics, who should learn how the mathematician learn. In the same manner, teacher should teach how the scholar in the discipline will convey the particular knowledge. In addition, discipline design model of curriculum is often used in college, but not in the elementary or secondary levels. So, from the subject-centered curriculum moves higher to a discipline when the student are more mature and are already moving towards their career path or disciplines as science, mathematics, psychology, humanities, history, and others.
So another one is correlation design. Coming from a core, correlated curriculum design links separate subject designs in order to reduce fragmentation. Subjects are related to one another and still maintain their identity. So for example, English literature and social studies correlate well in the elementary level. In the two subjects, while history is being studied, different literary pieces during the historical period are also being studied. The same is true when science becomes the core. Mathematics is related to it, as they are taken in chemistry, physics, and biology. So another example is literature as the core with art, music, history, geography related to it. To use correlated design, teachers should come together and plan their lessons cooperatively.
So another one is the broad field design or interdisciplinary. Broad field design or interdisciplinary is a variation of the subject-centered design. This design was made to cure the compartmentalization of the separate subjects and integrate the content that are related to one another. The subjects such as geography, economics, political science, anthropology, sociology, and history are fused into the subject called social studies. Language art will include grammar, literature, linguistics, spelling, and composition. In addition, sometimes called holistic curriculum, broad field draws around themes and integration. Interdisciplinary design is similar to thematic design, where a specific theme is identified, and all the other subject areas revolves around the theme.
Second type of curriculum design models is learner-centered design. Among progressive educational psychologists, the learner is the center of the educative process. This emphasis is very strong in the elementary level. However, more concern has been placed on the secondary and even the tertiary levels. Although in high school, the subject or content has become the focus, and in the college level, the discipline is the center. Both levels still recognize the importance of the learner in the curriculum. Students succeed when what they are learning matters to them. In student-centered learning, students' interest drives education. Student-centered learning gives students the opportunity to decide two things: what material they learn and how they learn it.
So here are some examples of curriculum designs which are learner-centered. Number 1 is child-centered design. This design is often attributed to the influence of John Dewey, Rousseau, Pestalozzi, and Reuel. This curriculum design is anchored on the needs and interests of the child. This or the learner is not considered as a passive individual but one who engages with his or her environment. One learns by doing. Learners actively create, construct meaning, and understanding as viewed by the constructivist. In the child-centered design, learners interact with the teachers and the environment. Thus, there is a collaborative effort on both sides to plan lessons, select content, and do activities together. Learning is a product of the child's interaction with the environment.
Secondly, we have experience-centered design. This design is similar to the child-centered design. Although the focus remains to the child, experience-centered design believes that the interests and needs of learners cannot be pre-planned. Instead, experiences of the learners become the starting point of the curriculum. Thus, the school environment is left open and free. Learners are made to choose from various activities that the teacher provides. The learners are empowered to shape their own learning from the different opportunities given by the teacher. In a school where experience-centered curriculum is provided, different learning centers are found, time is flexible, and children are free to make options. Activities revolve around different emphases such as touching, feeling, imagining, constructing, relating, and others. The emergence of multiple intelligence theory blends well with experience-centered design curriculum.
So lastly is the humanistic design. The key influence in this curriculum design is Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers. Maslow's theory of self-actualization explains that a person who achieves this level is accepting of self, others, and nature. Is simple, spontaneous, and natural. Is open to different experiences, possesses empathy and sympathy towards the less fortunate among the many others. The person can achieve the state of self-actualization later in life but has to start the process while still in school. Carl Rogers, on the other hand, believed that a person can enhance self-directed learning by improving self-understanding, the basic attitude to guide behavior. In a humanistic curriculum design, the development of self is the ultimate objective of learning. It stresses the whole person and the integration of thinking, feeling, and doing. It considers the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains to be interconnected and must be addressed in the curriculum. It stresses the development of positive self-concept and interpersonal skills.
Another type of curriculum design models we have problem-centered design. So, generally, problem-centered design draws on social problems, needs, interests, and abilities of the learners. Various problems are given emphasis. There are those that center on life situations, contemporary life problems, areas of living, and many others. In this curriculum, content cuts across subject boundaries and must be based on the needs, concerns, and abilities of the students. Also, it focuses on the problems of living, on the perceived realities of institutional and group life, for the individual and the society in general. It is also organized to reinforce cultural traditions and also to address those community and societal needs that are currently unmet.
So, two examples are given for the problem-centered design curriculum. Number one is the life situation design. What makes the design unique is that the contents are organized in ways that allow students to clearly view problem areas. It uses the past and the present experiences of learners as a means to analyze the basic areas of living. As a starting point, the pressing immediate problems of the society and the students' existing concerns are utilized. So based on Herbert Spencer's curriculum writing, his emphasis were activities that sustain life, enhance life, aid in rearing children, maintain the individual's social and political relations, and enhance leisure, tasks, and feelings. The connection of subject matter to real situations increases the relevance of the curriculum.
Core problem design. Another example of problem-centered design is core design. It centers on general education and the problems are based on the common human activities. The central focus of the core design includes common needs, problems, and concerns of the learners. Popularized by Fons and Bossing in 1959, it presented ways on how to proceed using core design of a curriculum. We come now to the approaches to curriculum design models. How will a particular design be approached by the teacher? After writing a curriculum based on the specific design, let us see how a teacher will approach this. We will find out the utilization of the example design. First one, we have child or learner-centered approach. This approach to curriculum design is based on the underlying philosophy that the child or the learner is the center of the educational process. It means that the curriculum is constructed based on the needs, interests, purposes, and abilities of the learners. The curriculum is also built upon the learner's knowledge, skills, previous learnings, and potentials. In addition, a learner-centered approach views learners as active agents. They bring their own knowledge, past experiences, education, and ideas, and this impacts how they take on board new information and learn. It differs significantly from a traditional instructor-centered approach. From its design, how should a child-centered curriculum be approached? So let us consider these principles. Number 1, acknowledge and respect the fundamental rights of the child. 2, make all activities revolve around the overall development of the learner. 3, consider the uniqueness of every learner in a multicultural classroom. 4, consider using differentiated instruction or teaching. And lastly, provide a motivating, supportive learning environment for all the learners. For example, School X is anchored on the theory of multiple intelligences in all its curricular and co-curricular activities. Every classroom provides activity centers where children can learn on their own with the different learning resource materials. Learners can just choose which learning center to engage in with different resources. This arrangement allows for the capacity of every learner to be honed. It also allows learning how to learn, hence, will develop independence. The teacher acts as guide for every learner. The learner sets the goal that can be done within the frame of time.
So we come now to the subject-centered approach. This is anchored on a curriculum design which prescribes separate distinct subjects for every educational level, such as basic education, higher education, or vocational technical education. In addition, subject-centered approach is one of the most widely used methods for organizing educational experiences. And this approach is the subject matter becomes the basis around the learning experiences are organized and the mastery of subject material become the basis for the attainment of educational objective. So this approach considers the following principles. Number 1 is the primary focus is the subject matter. Number 2, the emphasis is on bits and pieces of information which may be detached from life. Number 3 is the subject matter serves as a means of identifying problems of living. Number 4, learning means accumulation of content or knowledge. And lastly, number 5, teachers' roles is to dispense the content. For example, in another setting, School Y aims to produce the best graduates in the school district. Every learner must excel in all academic subjects to be on top of every academic competition. The higher the level of cognitive intelligence, the better the learner. Hence, the focus of learning is mastery of the subject matter in terms of content. Every student is expected to be always on top in terms of mastery of discipline. Memorization and drill are important learning skills. The school gives emphasis to intellectual development and sets aside emotional, psychomotor, and even value development. Success means mastery of the content.
We come now to the last approach, which is the problem-centered approach. So this approach is based on a design which assumes that in the process of living, children experience problems. Thus, problem solving enables the learners to become increasingly able to achieve complete or total development as individuals. This approach also is characterized by the following views and beliefs. First, the learners are capable of directing and guiding themselves in resolving problems, thus developing every learner to be independent. Second, the learners are prepared to assume their civic responsibilities through direct participation in different activities. Third, the curriculum leads the learners in the recognition of concerns and problems in seeking solutions. Learners are problem solvers themselves. So for example, School Z believes that a learner should be trained to solve real-life problems that come about because of the needs, interests, and abilities of the learners. Problems persistent in life and society that affect daily living are also considered. Most of the school activities revolve around finding solutions to problems like poverty, drug problems, climate change, natural calamities, and many more. Since the school is using a problem-based design, the same approach is used. Case study and practical work are the teaching strategies that are utilized. Problem-centered approach has become popular in many schools.
So, we have given examples of curriculum design and corresponding approaches. Again, the choice of the design is influenced by philosophical and psychological beliefs of the designer. It is very important that as curricularist, you will be able to understand the different design models and how to approach each one.
Once again,
Thank you for listening.